go study, you look up that word Boule, B-O-U-L-E, and you'll find out this is what most of these supposedly civil rights people belong to. And when I give you this understanding, you will know why we never get anything accomplished. The Boule means advisor to the king. Amen. That means their job was to advise the king. Now the black Boule was to advise the king, which was white supremacists. So their job was to advise the king about the black community. Because they formed the Boule because they did not want another Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, that's why they slandered him so bad. Marcus Garvey was doing things as a black man nobody was ever doing, ain't done it since. And he understood the way to get up out of here is to stop sucking from the government's teat and to get on our feet and do for ourselves, and then get up out of the land. Amen. Don't stay in the land of your enemy. Get out of the land and go to our own land. That's what he was talking about back to Africa, where, you know, so what now, the reason why you have the mentality right now, I ain't no African, I'm American, that comes from the Boule. That comes from those uppity Negroes teaching you that no, that's the wrong thinking. See, we got to go along to get along. Amen. And see, we've been going along to get along, but we've been managed. We've been managed by those people who stay in power. And let me bless you for real. The real power of this is in the church. See, a lot of these preachers are in these secret societies, and that's why they can't preach anything. Their job is not to enlighten you. Their job is to house you. It is to pacify you. It is to give you a good feeling about your suffering, but never cause you to say there is a reason behind this. Their job is to guide your voting by allowing these so-called Democrats or whoever they are come in and buy you a family life building and give me your votes. Or Republicans, they all do the same thing because it's all the same. It's really the same. Are y'all there? So the Boule means advisor to the king. It's the lower house inside the Boule history book written by Charles H. Wesley. Remember that Charles H. Wesley is a Boule member. He also wrote the history for, now this is where we got to get into this. Y'all there? The black Greeks. The black Greeks, and this is the reason why we you know, you want to know. See, I used to believe in this. You work hard, you do your best, you'll move up. I believed that until I understood these secret societies. I was like, wait a minute. You have enough people that in this stuff tell you now it's who you know. Then you begin to understand now there's certain ceilings you can hit. That if you're not a part of these if the gatekeepers don't open the door for you, you don't get in. Amen. You don't believe me. I'll show you how. They used to have something called guilds. It was like unions. Like if you know about what unions are. And you had to be a part of a guild in order to get the work. And if you wasn't a part of that, like it is, sort of like it is now, where if you're part of a union, you get the doors open for you to get certain work. You understand what I'm saying? They hold the keys to that door. And when you get with them, they get you better jobs, more higher paying jobs. And you get job security more than if you was out here on your own getting lower paid jobs because there's nothing backing you. But for them doing that for you, you pay dues. You must pay them in order to stay in their guild. You got what I'm saying? Well, this is how it kind of works, is that the Boule are the brightest. Now, okay, let me hit you with this first to give you some understanding. This is where the Boule is formed by the Greek fraternities. The black Greek fraternity. I told you it's all about the Greeks. It's the black Greek fraternities, and these that was formed in Howard University, and a lot of those famous black universities, and it's also part of the Prince Hall Masons and the Elks. These are the secret societies in the hood that you don't even know that they here. These are the people, these are your councilmen and your aldermen and people that get up in high positions, and you wonder, how do they get in them positions? And it don't matter how well this person is liked or loved, if they don't have the favor of the king, they don't get in. And if I really want to bless you, to really mess you up, Martin Luther King was part of the Boule. They killed him because he went against them. He was in it. He went against them when he started talking about white stuff. And white stuff was that Vietnam War. When he started talking about the Vietnam War, it's over. That's their business. Y'all heard what I'm saying? This is the reason why Jesse ain't done nothing. Al ain't done nothing. These are 33rd degree Freemasons. How they gonna do something when they are in position to manage you? Didn't think you learned that in church, huh? I just want to help you, because you have to understand who the enemy is now. Y'all remember I told y'all about this friend or foe? You got to figure out who's really for us, who ain't. Who's on our side and who ain't on our side. Y'all heard what I'm saying? Remember Margaret Sanger said she's going to propagate abortion in the black community through preachers? They know what to get. The preacher's always the leader. This is why preachers, that's why if you go to most old churches, look on the foundation stone, you'll see Freemason symbols. You'll see the compass and square symbols, which we know that's Luciferian worship. There's some of y'all who think y'all got people that's Freemasons, they lower level. They may be on the first, second level. You don't know nothing. When you get to that third level, you start getting some knowledge. And when you get all the way up them steps and get over to that 32nd level, you know that you're serving Lucifer. This is why we fell for that foolishness when Trayvon Martin, it was all the foolishness because his daddy was a 33rd degree Freemason. I don't got time to talk.
We know as the Boule, which is the black, light-skinned, professional elite, doctors and lawyers out of Philadelphia, who felt that they had no class association for themselves because they weren't allowed to mix with the white elite, and they felt they were above the rest of the black community, so they created the first Greek-lettered black organization in America, what we know as the Boule, so that they could have their own debutante, cotillions, and their own elite thing. And so there was a fight at that time about what we would be called Negroes. Despite talk we have now, but they're going to be called Negroes, colored, Afro-Americans, Sudanese, Ethiopians. All of these were discussed at that time. So the Niagara movement was the militant aspect of the black movement. But then that's when something happened in the South. A Jew named Frank was lynched. He was a Jewish travel salesman, or police, or what do you call it, insurance salesman, traveling salesman, one of those, who was lynched in Georgia for the raping of a young white girl in a warehouse. There was a black man also arrested who was a janitor in one of these warehouses. But they let the black man go, and they captured the Jewish guy, took him to jail, and the mob came and lynched him. His name was Brown, I think. But at any rate, that's when the Jews formed the Anti-Defamation League. And they came to the black folks and formed a partner organization called the NAACP. And the NAACP, the only black person in the leadership was W.B. Du Bois, who was then, I think, the secretary. All the rest of the officers of that organization were white folks. So they were using black folks, and they would use black folks for the next coming decades as cannon fodder to change laws in America that would favor Jewish immigration into the South and development in the South. And once those laws and stuff was passed, the same Jewish population who profited so much from integration and desegregation would turn against the African American population in their partnership with the white Southern business and cultural community.
A brother asked about Carter G. Woodson and W.B. Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois was the founding member of the New York chapter in 1911. The concept of the talented TIF developed at a speech that he gave on behalf of the Boule, which was that the Boule represented the elite of the black elite, the college-trained man. There was no other black man of influence than this emerging college-educated black man. And so this college-educated black man was put in or used by a lot of other people. W.B. Du Bois took it upon himself, and in the lecture on Black Jewish Relations, Africa 93, we talked about W.B. Du Bois' role in attacking Marcus Garvey. Well, it was deeper than we ever thought. We found out that the Harlem Renaissance, in fact, was a distraction established by Jewish philanthropy to deter Africans from back to Africa to get involved in poetry, art, science, music, as a distraction and a diversion from the goals and aspirations of Marcus Garvey. Du Bois, along with the first black Rhodes Scholar, Elaine Locke, who was 1908 to 1910. There was not another Rhodes Scholar till 1963 that Elaine Locke was a part with Du Bois of humiliating Marcus Garvey by calling them names like gorilla, dark, dumb masses, and they hedged their bet. We have found documentation where Du Bois and Elaine Locke had stated clearly that we hope this white man delivers because we've crushed a great black thing. But we know the white man will be delivered or our people will attack us and plague us forevermore.
You and Obama, sine qua non black bourgeoisie sellouts, the black bourgeoisie. They are the go-between to the black community. They're the ones that are going to negotiate the terms of our social contract with the establishment from now until whenever.
So you call Stephen A. Smith a sellout too?
He's another one. He's just the comment. You got LeBron as an athlete. You got Stephen A. as a commentary voice. You got Barack Obama as a political figure. You got Oprah Winfrey as the women's right. I mean, pick one. It's hard to find a black public figure who's a celebrity who hasn't sold us out.
Understand that. I was concerned with the black leadership of America, not medical science. When I had cured these people of sickle cell and lupus and herpes and blindness, I was happy. I said, now I could go to all the leaders. I could go to Minister Farrakhan. I could go to Jesse Jackson. I could go to Al Sharpton. I could go to Oprah Winfrey. But what I found out, I was mistaken. I was wrong. They are not interested in the healing of any black people.
That's an explosive claim.
That is not an explosive statement. That is a reality. There isn't a black leader in America that is interested in the health of the black race.
This is where your Al Sharpton, your Barack Obama, your Jesse Jackson, they've all come from this Boule society. All these big names through the hip-hop industry. They all are entangled in this satanic society. It was fashioned after the Skull and Bone Society of Yale. And all the prominent black men that have risen to power have essentially sold out their people. They pose as freedom fighters on the outside, and they're selling their people out on the inside. And it's been going on like this forever. It's the puppet show, and I'm here to expose it to the best of my ability. So when I talk about this Boule society, you're talking its creation of Sigma Pi Phi taking place in 1904. And since then, you've had all these great people come from this. Well, what they want you to believe are great people. So there's only 5,000 members roughly in 126 chapters. That's only 5,000 people on this planet. You know how small that is of a group? So you could see that these men of power have been handpicked out of this 5,000 man group here and put into their positions and paid off well to play their part. So what's the chances that anyone very close to Trayvon Martin would be connected to this powerful elite circle? Look closely. This man. Do you know who this man is? This is Trayvon Martin's father. And yes, he is Master Mason of the Boule Society.